When the only constant in life is change, you need to be ready. This is the Man-Made Survival Show.
Hello everyone. So, as always, right, I have told you time after time, and pretty much because the channel, that's what's about, is for you to prepare for anything that can happen, because we just don't know what is just around the corner. And 2020 has really taught us that we must pay attention. We need to look at what's going on, and we kind of have to predict a little bit to the best of our ability to see what's coming ahead, right? Because we see the signs, and we're smart people, and we know that when there's a lot of warnings out there from the left, from the right, from the fake news media, from the alternative media, from every outlet, right? In all of that, it has to be truth, because everybody's pretty much reporting the same thing on both sides of the aisle, on whether it's CNN or it's Fox News, or whether it's Tucker Carlson or whoever hosts CNN. I don't really watch it, but the point is that everybody right now is starting to give out the same alarm, because the food shortages that we have been talking about for the longest time are happening. And because we had an efficient supply chain, a lot of people did not see those problems, and a lot of people did not believe that it could actually happen in the United States, because we have always have an abundance of things. Whenever you felt like it, you would just go to the store, get you something to eat, something to drink, and then you will go home. If you just felt like if you crave pizza right now, all you had to do was get up, go to the store, or go to a pizza place, order a pizza, or take it home, or even have it delivered to your house. That has been the abundance that the United States, I guess, the standard of living has always been. And it didn't really matter on what side of the social ladder you were in. You could be as poor as you are, or as you could ever be, but you can still order a pizza. You can be as rich as you are and still get the same service. So that has always been what America has been known for being able to have the supply chain very well supplied, and there be no disruptions. Everything was running pretty much as a well-oiled machine. The on-time deliveries have always been there through truck driving, local deliveries, whatever. So when coronavirus happened, right, we saw back in December, January, really February, that China, Thailand, Italy, different places, when they saw the problem right in front of them, that's when they would panic and they would buy, right? And they got all the things that they thought they would need that were essential. A lot of people, for some reason, thought that they needed a lot of toilet paper. That was probably just more of a herd mentality, that they saw someone taking a lot of toilet paper, so they felt like they must take the same toilet paper, or the same amount, or a high amount, as opposed to groceries or whatever. So then that evolved, because the farmers were shut down, the food plant processing were shut down, and everything like that. So then people started hoarding food. It came down to where people were being limited on how much they could buy, right? And then things kind of like fluff up a little bit, and then they kind of took those away. People calmed down a little bit, and then the ball started rolling again for the supply chain, even though it was a little strained. It wasn't back to what it was, but it was strained, because we've seen for a long time the beef prices are high and the supply is pretty low. And that's something that they still have not really solved, and actually is progressing to getting worse and worse. Of course, a lot of people say it's an evil plan, that it's being orchestrated. It could be true. We don't really know what's going on behind closed doors, but could it also be negligence, or not having the wisdom to deal with the problem? That could be it too. It could be both sides can argue their points, and they can get pretty much to the same conclusion, that the supply chain either way is dwindling. I'll let you choose whether it's being done on purpose to control you, or it's not on purpose. It's more stupidity and lack of knowledge that is creating all of this. To me, it doesn't really matter. The end game is that at the end of the day, there won't be any food at the grocery store. That's why you must prepare. Now, if there's someone that is responsible for it, of course, I would want them to be persecuted or prosecuted, legally, whatever the word is, prosecuted, I think it is, and be brought to justice and all that. For some people that might be wishful thinking, but that would be the right thing to do. If it's stupidity and people don't know how to handle the situation, then they could be held accountable by get them to lose their job, right? For example, Fauci, he's gonna give his best advice, quote unquote, as he knows to be in that field. To him, shutting down the economy to save lives makes sense. For an economist, that's the stupidest thing you could ever do, right? And we're seeing the repercussions of it. For Fauci, if we don't do it, we're gonna see lives be lost, and we're gonna see the cases of infections just keep growing and growing. To him, that is the alarming thing, right? That's happening. For an economist, they see over 47 million people unemployed. They see that our crops are not being picked up because of because of the guidelines from the CDC. They're seeing that places are shutting down for good. That now they're saying that probably 80% of all restaurants all throughout the country are going to shut down for good. Printing all this money to be able to prop up all these businesses so people can stay home. It's a bad thing, for the economists. To them, that's the alarming thing, as opposed to just getting people to go back to work and wear a mask and do all those things. So it all depends on where you fall. But to me, at the end of the day, this is what we're seeing. People are dying, people are getting infected, and also we're seeing the supply chain dwindling, or actually falling apart, and we're seeing that we're just printing a lot of money, which could create hyperinflation at the end of the day. To me, that's what's important. All right. I have said from time to time that it really doesn't matter what we believe, whether the virus is a hoax or not, whether they're trying to control us or not. It's what the government is doing, because they're the ones that are gonna enforce the guidelines. They're the ones that are gonna send the police to arrest you. They're the ones that are gonna get the power to shut down the power in your business and even the sewer, as we saw in the gym in, I believe it was New Jersey. So the government will take those steps, right? And even though there was people rallying around those people and supporting them, and militias were sitting outside and saying they're not going to come in, they're not going to arrest anybody, but eventually they had to go home. And all the police had to do was just wait for that to die down and then, move in. Kind of like we saw at CHOP. For the mayor of Seattle, she didn't care. She supported it. She said it was the summer of love, that nothing was going on, until they showed up to her front door, and the very next day, everybody's gone from CHOP. So, and because she's in the government and she enforced it, that's what happened. Okay, that's the point I'm trying to make. So for you, it would be for you the wisest thing to do would be to just go out there and prepare for the things that are going on. For you to prepare yourself and to put yourself in a very good position in order for you to be able to withstand what's going on. You don't have to wonder whether or not you're going to have enough masks. You don't have to wonder that if they completely shut down all farms and everything, that you're going to have food for the next few days. If you were to set up, or if you had another chance to set yourself up to have a good economic, without a lot of debt for the next crisis, you would do it now. Right? You will learn from this. If you're one of the people who are really struggling through all of this, as all of us are, because nobody's immune, not even the rich people. I mean, they just have a lot of money that they can fall back into. But us in the lower class levels, we don't have that much to really, or that much cushion to really fall back on. So that would be something that we learn from this and apply it for the next crisis. Okay. So there's a lot of things that we have learned all throughout 2020, and all these disasters that are going all at once, right? That's why a lot of people are coming out and say that preppers pretty much are vindicated from everything, from anything that people have said, made fun of, and everything, because those of us who are actually prepared, in a realistic level, for real disasters, would be we are better off in many ways, right? We don't have to wonder where our family's gonna eat if there's no more grocery stores, or if we just simply cannot afford to feed our family. If for what happened in all throughout the cities, if you were already well armed and you had a routine to be able to protect your family and your property, then you wouldn't really have to worry about it, and you wouldn't have to scramble to get those things ready, right? So learn from this and see what's going on. That way, next time, if you get another chance to go through something like this again and recover from this, then you'll be better prepared for what will happen then. Okay, because there's a lot of scenarios that can happen in a future crisis, which to me would be a war, an EMP, an invasion of the United States, or the economic collapse that I was just talking about a few seconds ago. What you really want to think about is what scenario that I should prepare for collapses the supply chain. Because when there's no longer a supply chain, then a lot of people will starve, a lot of people will be angry, and there would be a lot more despair. All right, those are the things that you got to look at. So I just wanted to give this message, this short video, so you can get things into perspective. Don't divide your mind and don't get caught up into who's doing this out of evil or out of neglect. It's just pretty much what the bottom line is, that things are happening either way, and you better be prepared for those things. All right? They might take different paths, but at the end of the day, you prepare for whatever is thrown at you. But anyways, I want to remind you real quick before I let you go from this video, is that we have the store, Madman Survival Store. Go to madmansurvivalstore.com, and you can find the gear that you're gonna need on there for an EMP, for a nuclear attack, just regular gear for camping and stuff like that. Also, I want to remind you about my book, Preppers Secrete Cache. Go to www.prepperssecretcache.com, and you can order it from there, or just click the link below. I want to remind you that this book is absolutely free, okay? And all we need your help is with shipping. A lot of people have already ordered the book, and they said that they like it. That there's a lot of stuff on there that they hadn't thought about, and they have given me good reviews. So I encourage you to get it, so you can get the stuff that's in it. Some of the stuff you may already know. Some of the stuff you may have not even ever thought about it. Okay, so I encourage you to get it. It's absolutely free. www.prepperssecretcache.com. All right, so again, my name is Jose Prado, and remember, always ready.
The Man-Made Survival Show.